Hello and welcome! This is DoctorDoctorAl presenting to you Hand of Fate 2. This is a game that I'm very excited to play. I had watched some videos about it, never played it myself. Didn't play the first Hand of Fate either. But basically, I think it's like an RPG type game. You have a bunch of encounters where you either do combat or roll dice or do a few other sort of mini games, and your goal is to beat the individual missions that you're presented with. I believe after the tutorial you're able to craft your own deck to try to put in some encounters that might help you complete that particular mission. So without further ado, let's get started. I'll be quiet for this first bit so that we can hear the narrator tell us a little bit about our story, and then we'll get started. So please watch and enjoy.
Your memories are fading even now, gone to form the soul of the game we play. These pieces are new, as are the stakes. Life, death, and vengeance. We must ride, for time is short, and you have much to learn.
Indeed, we have much to learn.
Make your first choice, and let us set these wheels in motion once more.
Our first choice looks like female versus male. We'll click on this dude and get started.
These cards represent your history and our game. We know where they end, for you are here. Therefore, these cards must guide you to my side. Let us see what the journey holds.
Let us indeed. The Fool.
The Fool steps into nothingness, because they know no better. In the same way, you must step into the void. You are a blank slate, and together we will write your history.
Sounds exciting. That's the gold token that we get for completing the mission, from what I remember. So, Forest Ambush. You've stumbled many miles through this forest in search of the thieves who robbed you. Though exhausted and hungry, you are determined to reclaim your father's amulet. So there's a 4 of Greed. That's going to be the, I think, thief-type enemies, 4 of them, and then their leader. You finally catch sight of the thieves hacking at a large tree and arguing amongst themselves. So the thieves are arguing with each other. We can either move closer to eavesdrop or keep our distance. Let's come a little bit closer and see what they're up to.
Every element of the game has been improved. Even those that seem at first glance familiar. Do not worry. You will soon understand the nuances.
Alright, let me talk, narrator. So there were 3 success cards and 1 failure, and I didn't actually pay attention to where the failure one went. But even so, we have a 75% chance of success, and there we have it. Creeping forward, you overhear their leader spouting orders. "It's simple," he says. "The idiots walk down the road. You push over the tree and jump out. They'll be too scared to put up a fight, and we'll get rich." Seems like a simple enough plan. "Why don't we jump out and stab them?" one retorts. Another hooded figure chimes in. "Yay, corpses don't put up a fight either." Frustration rises in the leader's voice. "The Empire doesn't care if a few farmers lose some sprouts, but drop a corpse on the royal road and the place will be filled with soldiers before you've even spent the coin. We don't need that trouble." Sensible, just rob them, don't kill them. "Now quiet, here they come." You soon spot a group of farmers coming around the corner, bringing their wares to market. So these must be the 3 farmers. The thieves fell the tree into the path of the unsuspecting farmers and leap out, weapons brandished. "Give us all your food!" So now we're presented with a choice. We can either leap to the farmers' defense, we can offer to help the farmers, demanding some cash in exchange, or we can help the thieves with their extortion and actually join the thieves. I think the honorable thing to do would be to just defend the farmers, but we'll sort of be a little bit of a mercenary, and we'll help the farmers out, but in exchange for some cash. "We have no gold!" shriek the terrified farmers, "but half our crop is yours if you protect us." So that'll give us some food, which is nice as well. I think a fair enough reward. And they would give us 12 food. The thieves eye you nervously. The farmers look at you hopefully. I think we'll go for it. We'll get the 12 food. asking for more seems not too generous since they're going to give me half their food. You draw your weapon with practice skill. Not really practiced since I've never played this before. Well, you hear the leader's voice. You lads handle this. I'll meet you when you're done. Typical of the leader to just run away. So this will sort of transition us into the first combat. I don't even know what the controls are, so hopefully I won't make too much of a mess of it, but I've heard that this is sort of the weakest part of the game. The combat is pretty generic, but we'll see. We'll figure out together. Thug, violence for the sake of violence, and theft for the sake of money. Thieves attack frequently and can evade standard attacks, making heavy weapons less effective. Okay. So the controls are here. We can move with the left and right sticks, attack with X, defend with Y. Those will be the ones we use the most. Evade with A and bash with B. Alright, sounds like fun. Let's get started. They do these, once that green thing pops up, I think we're supposed to evade, which I haven't been doing. But that's okay, we have plenty of health. That's one thief down. Alright, and managed to evade there, so that's pretty straightforward. Lost my special. Once you get... okay, let's pay attention here and finish these thieves off. Just one left. All the farmers are alive as well, so I could have gone better, but not bad for our first combat. I just have to time the evasion, I think, better, or the defending better. So forced ambush complete. With the brigands dispatched, the farmers turn to you. I hope your price doesn't prove too high. If the next harvest comes short, we'll starve regardless. Well, you would have died regardless, so I think giving up some food isn't a big deal. And that'll give us 7 food, as well as 5 food, so now we're up to 17. You fall on the food with a sigh, shoveling bread in your mouth to quell your hunger. Your satisfaction lasts only a moment before you realize your father's amulet is not among the takings. You consume 1 food, so we still need our amulet. Every time we consume food, we gain 5 health, so that's good. Their leader must still have it. You set to your feet, determined to find it. So our quest now is find the leader of the thieves to retrieve our amulet. And let's go ahead and go on to our next encounter. There we are. And so again, we lost 1 food, gained some health. A friend in need. While enjoying a moment beside the fire, you spy a strange figure approaching your camp. It's a goblin, dressed in what must pass for goblin finery. From beneath a filthy fox pelt serving as an ill-fitting wig, the goblin winks at you with wild red eyes. Aha! I've been roaming for hours trying to find you. We must get this over with quickly if I have any hope of getting to all the people on my list before sunrise. What is he, Santa? It lowers a sack from its shoulder. Now, from within my sack, I can conjure whatever your heart desires. Well, I'd want my father's amulet. The goblin's voice trails off as he examines his sack. Well, I could, if there wasn't a blooming great big hole in it. His head disappears entirely into the bag until his bulbous nose protrudes from the breach. A new plan, then. The goblin pulls out his last trinkets. So, he'll give us either the warrior's axe, the soldier's sword, or a shield. I wonder if we could see what they do before picking them? Yeah. So the soldier's sword, 10 hits to get a critical strike that does a lot more damage on a single target. Good riposte against northerners, slightly more damage, and it's a one-handed weapon that does 15. Alright, looks pretty good. I think we'll go for that, but let's look at the warrior's axe. Again, 250% damage, takes less hits to make the critical, so that's good. And against corrupted, it will do additional damage. It's a heavy weapon, so susceptible to evade, and you can't riposte with it. Does more damage overall. And the shield, which we could use to defend, use defend to reflect attacks from ranged enemies, and can only be equipped with a one-handed weapon. Now, all of them are interesting choices. I think we'll just go with the soldier's sword for now. It seems the most versatile for this point in the game, so we'll grab that. And sure, we'll go ahead and equip it over our neglected sword. it has better stats overall. A wise choice. Now I must go. There are many others I must visit before I can rest. The goblin runs off into the night, his fox wig flapping in the evening breeze. We can change equipment in the inventory. Let me just take a quick look at it. So we're wearing this adventurer's garb, a hood, a wooden shield, and the soldier's sword. Sounds good. We've already equipped our weapons, so let's keep moving to the next encounter. Finding forest folk.
This card has a token. Can you find it?
So this card, as the narrator told us, has a token. If we resolve the encounter successfully, we can grab the token, and I think what that does is it'll unlock some more cards that we could put in our future decks. Your journey through a forest is interrupted by an inquisitive child. Are you searching for the forest folk? My uncle says that they used to walk these woods giving out gifts. I want to find one and ask for a lemon cake. Seems pretty dumb, kid. As they dash off to peer under a nearby log, the child shouts back, "Remember, if you meet the forest folk, get me a lemon cake." In the other direction, an eerie song hangs in the air. You attempt to find its origin. Alright, let's pay attention. So, the failure one, I think, is one of these two, so let's pick one of these. Alright, it wasn't, but still successful. You follow the song through thicket and stream until you find an open glade bathed in golden sunlight. You find an aged maiden, her posture bent like the boughs of a forest. It has been 12 winters since I had a visitor. Her voice is a whisper, yet it thunders in your ears. You may visit me when you are in need, adventurer.
This is yours now.
Well,
Even
that was
if you
easy.
lose the challenge, you have earned this token.
Again, this is, I think, the tutorial quest, so I'm not too surprised that we were able to defeat it so easily. Let's move on to
Nothing could be more fitting now than meeting the mage who started this all, or at least started it all for you.
Okay. We're on the Royal Road. A trail of fallen trees and distraught farmers leads you to the thieves who had stolen your amulet. Finally! It seems their infighting has only gotten worse. The bandits surround their former leader, weapons drawn. Everyone will get their fair share. There's no need for violence, the leader implores. Whoever heard of a thief talk about fair shares, spits one. You turn up and boss us around. We've barely stabbed anyone. It's been days since I've stabbed someone. Days! The leader notices you approaching and waves you over. As much as I'd love to continue this discussion regarding my stabbings, I'm afraid I have urgent business with my associate here. As he greets you, he whispers, Keep me alive, and there'll be plenty of gold for your trouble. Tell him gold cannot replace the amulet he stole, or that he will pay in blood for his thievery. I think we'll take the less violent approach. We'll say that really it's the amulet that we're after, not gold. He holds up a finger. First rule of negotiation. Never let them know what you want. Kill my associates and I will gladly return your amulet. Ever reliable, the thieves draw their blades to mug you. The leader hurries away to hide. This leader doesn't seem very honorable or very brave. Give us your stuff or we'll stab you up, growls one of them. You consider your options. We could give them half of our food in gold, perhaps avoiding the fight, or we can fight them, and we might as well just fight them, I think. So let's go ahead and do that. You draw your weapon and prepare to deal with miscreants. Tip, perform a quick riposte by attacking immediately after defending an enemy attack. So we'll have to see if we can do that in the future. So back to the combat. So far so good. Again, very simple tutorial mission. We're just trying to learn the ropes of the game here, and so far so good. We have our improved soldier's sword. And again, a reminder, X is attack, Y is defend, and A is evade. Okay, sounds good. Let's get started. Alright. And there's a... Okay, that's the finisher, pretty cool. have to get used to defending. Can't keep eating so much damage. Alright, getting better with that. Oh. I forgot what the key is to use our super, so I'll have to probably in between videos I'll familiarize myself with the all the controls so that fighting will be a little bit smoother next time. But we have defeated the thieves. The battle resolved, the thief leader nods in approval at the carnage before him. He holds out a hand. The name is Malaclips, Bard Extraordinaire. His smile fades under your withering glare. Sensing your anger, he raises his hands in surrender. Wait, let's not be hasty. I want my amulet. We're on the same side here. I'm an upstanding citizen just like you. I've been working with the thieves, yes, but only for the greater good. No, really, they were killing people before I came along. I know it seems bad, but look. He pulls out an amulet from his pockets and presses it into your hands. All is forgiven, yes? You stare at the amulet. It does not look familiar. Oh, Malaclips says, scratching his head. He opens a small satchel. So, which one is yours? So we'll be able to pick. Seems like we can just see... I don't know if we can see the stats. There's a lion, there's a pharaoh-looking dude, and a few other choices here. Let's see. Okay, so they don't tell us. I was hoping that by selecting one, they'd give us a little bit more about their stats. It's the only human. We'll pick the human one. The Sun King amulet. That suits you. Very similar facial structure. Say, you know what? I'm lonely. You're lonely. We should work together. You have befriended Malaclips the Trickster. I think he'll get us in a lot more trouble than he's worth, but happy to have a companion. We should probably get to know one another, seeing as we're going to be friends for life, Malaclips says. Tell me, where are you from? I'm from a combat event. I'm not sure why we're going into combat. Oh, we're maybe at the campfire. So here I am. So this is what we have so far. Not sure what we're supposed to do here. Maybe I'll just pick something. Let's pick the amulet. So the amulet actually changes the amulet that appears on our character's person. I'm happy with the Sun King. That seems pretty cool. And this might change our appearance. We could get some hair, different type of hair, go bald. I think the one that we had started with is probably good. We can go a little bit lighter hair. We could, I kind of like the black hair actually, so we'll leave that alone. And not sure what this is about. I guess this is maybe where we're from, so we could say that we were city dwellers, or we lived in the forest, or I don't know what this one is. We'll pick the city. I think City Slickers, maybe we'll get something out of it. And then this might be, I guess, our coat of arms, and it will replace our armor, how it looks. I think the default one looks the best. Alright, we'll go ahead and keep that. So yeah, so there we are. This is our life story, it seems like, and that's what we'll tell Malaclips. From Clearwater, eh? You don't say. Good sorts from Clearwater, very trusting. Oh, by the way, I mean we, friend, owe money to Vignus of the Thieves Guild. He's quite angry at us. We should journey to Maya Bridge together to appease him. Some gold might help. Although, come to think of it, I'm rather busy. Malaclips eyes a pretty trader hiking up the road. So, it'd be best if you get the gold and I meet you there. What a worthless companion, making us do his dirty work, but happy to oblige. Let's see our next encounter.
Let us learn what sort you are.
Arm wrestling.
Strong, clever, wise. The circumstances under which you come here put the lie to that.
Okay. So arm wrestling, you enter a competition of strength at a fair. A gold prize is available to the winner. Looks like 10 gold is at stake. In the first round of the competition, your opponent is the diminutive Roland, a halfling from a traveling troupe of acrobats. Acrobats can be pretty strong, but he's a halfling, so I guess that means he's weak. I don't know. Ah, so this is the first
These
dice
are another
game.
small game embedded in our game.
Okay, thank you, narrator. So the target is 10 with 3 dice. We are favored to win right away. So let's see if fortune favors us. It does not. However, the nice thing is you can re-roll and you can pick which dice you want to re-roll. So we'll definitely keep the 6, and by re-rolling the snake eyes, we have a very good chance of getting more than 10. So we just basically need a 2 or above, and we got it. 12 total.
Victory.
Well,
You are learning.
Roland is no match for your strength. He gives a disappointed backflip off the table and collects his meager winnings, then cartwheels out the door. So it sounds like even if we lose, we would get some reward, but I'm glad that we got the full reward, and maybe we'll be able to help Eclipse out. You take your reward from the purser on the way out the tavern. When you return, you will compete in the next round for a larger prize. And so this arm wrestling card can appear in other adventures, and it'll probably be a higher dice roll that we need to get, but probably also for a higher reward, so looking forward to that. Let's see what's next.
The roads have become even more deadly since the Empire has come to power, despite their promises of the opposite.
The distressed damsel. The road ahead is blocked by an overturned carriage and a woman calling for help. "Please help," she cries. "I've been robbed by a band of thugs. Is there anything you can do?" We can assist the distressed woman with a 12 target, or refuse to help. That just seems very mean, so we'll go ahead and try to help her. 12 is going to be a little bit harder. Let's see what we get. Alright, and on the first roll we got it. Very lucky. "Thank you," the woman says as you help her from the carriage. "Please accept this as a token of my gratitude." And we get 5 gold. Very nice. And another 15 gold. We should have plenty of gold for Malclips's friend. You thank the woman and continue on your way. Alright, I think if we backtrack, we don't lose any food, we don't gain any health either, but I'd rather see all of the different cards.
Water is a symbol for the many thoughts that churn beneath the surface. What is it you're thinking of? What concern is worrying at your mind? Let it fall into the waters beneath.
Okay, narrator, well, keep that in mind. So deep water, while crossing a stone bridge, you suddenly find yourself confronted by a villainous band. 4 of Blight. You could stand and fight, or throw yourself to the mercy of the river below. I think 11 is pretty easy to get, so I'm considering that. Standing and fighting, we may get some reward out of it. I can't imagine leaping into the river will give us any gold. Even though I'm not good at fighting, let's go ahead and try. The only way we'll get better is by practicing our combat, and hopefully I'll do a better job this time. We do have a decent amount of health, 84, so we should be okay, and it's only 4 enemies, so even if we eat a lot of their attacks, we should probably be okay. The Inflicted. The first touches of corruption bring forth the darkest elements of their victims. Infected enemies are feeble, causing them to be knocked down when health is low. Use a finisher before they recover. Alright, fair enough. And let's get started. Once again, missed the... Oh dear. So missed the finisher on that guy. Let's not do that here. Oh, come on. I really need to practice the combat. But so far so good. Only got hit once or twice, so that's okay. finisher. Very good. I wonder, is it right trigger? Yes. Alright, so that's how to use our special. And with the finisher, we have dispatched our foes. So again, we'll need to do some more practice on the combat, but got through that encounter just fine. Having spilled your enemy's blood, you search the bodies for anything useful, and so hopefully some gold will await us. We get equipment, and the Warrior's Axe. So basically, we had seen it before, needs less hits to get the critical, more damage, but it's a two-handed weapon. I think we'll go ahead and use it. I'm not really doing much blocking, so we might as well get more damage. And we gained quite a bit of health as well, so that's nice. Let's keep moving.
Celebrations in aid of what? You see how quickly the actions of the usurper are turned into tales for children.
So off to the carnival. Nearing the sleepy hamlet of Dulwich, you find the villagers in the midst of some kind of celebration. Much of the activity concerns a large paper and wood statue depicting a fearsome warrior looming triumphantly over a prone lizard man. We can follow the parade, ask about what is going on, or carry on our way. Let's ask before we follow the parade. Friendly Sablehand explains, "In a bygone age, our town was beset by half-men, half-lizards. There was no food, no respite, and very little hope. Salvation came in the form of a nameless warrior who hunted the beasts for little more than a handful of coins and a crust of bread." He smiles warmly at the festivities. "We honor the warrior like this. The statue is filled with food and gold, and we take turns smashing it to bits with a club. You're welcome to join us, and you may keep whatever falls out." Looks like they have a giant piñata. The parade and statue are winding their way into the town and almost out of sight. Let's try our luck at getting some piñata food and gold. The parade ends in the town square. You watch as the villagers take turns smashing the statue with a club and gathering the food and gold it spills out. A local notices your interest and asks if you would like a turn. You could join in or watch a local. Watching a local might be more prudent, but I'm worried that they'll run out of gold and food, so let's just join in right away. So huge success is here. I think it's one of these two. Let's pick, and yeah, we got it. Huge success. You bring the club down with a thunderous crack that silences the crowd. As the statue splits open, they erupt into a boisterous roar. Coins and sweets flow freely from the huge cavity you created. You survey the spoils and try to scoop them up before anyone else can. Alright, let's try to shoot for the 10 gold, which I think is this one, and yep, there we have it. You scrambled to gather the bounty that you unleashed. Would you like to try to gather more? Sure, why not? Let's see. So there's failure, chance of failure. I just want to avoid the failure, which I think is one of these two, so let's go ahead and pick the leftmost, and another bit of gold. Very nice. You scramble. Yeah, let's do one more. I'm not sure what happens if we trigger the failure. I think this one is food, and so it is. I think that's enough. I'm assuming the next one will have 3 failure cards, and I don't want to try my luck. We might give up some of the food and gold that we've gotten. Leave the town celebrations with whatever you've gathered. Indeed. And final encounter.
Here we come to the end of the beginning. Running errands for mages. This will become a theme, I dare say.
So, the dead drop. You arrive at Meyerburg as the sun begins to dip below the horizon. You find Malaclips perusing a selection of cheeses by the market. "Ah, if it isn't my good friend the adventurer." I'm not sure why I change his voice every time. "Did you bring the gold? Vignes has arranged to meet at the graveyard." I think keep exploring means we can go back, but we've already encountered everything, so let's go to the graveyard. You wonder whether the spot was chosen for its seclusion or for easy body disposal. Perhaps both. Vignes greets Malaclips with a sly grin. "Looks like you turned up after all, and with a lackey in tow. We had our doubts, you know." Vignes cracks his knuckles and giggles. "Well now, Malaclips, convince me. What's to stop me cutting off your head today?" You reveal your gold as Malaclips scrounges in his pockets for some too. The heavy satchel of riches lands at Vignis's feet with a thud that echoes through the silence of the cemetery. We lost all 55 of our gold. Again, I don't think gold goes from one mission to the other, so that's okay. That's our deal done, Malaclip says, worry obvious in his voice. No need for any further troubles. I'm sorry, Mal, Vignis grins. You should have known the guild was never going to let you pay with cash stolen from our members in the first place. Alright, so looks like our gold gathering was meaningless, and we have to fight regardless. So this is a bit of a tougher fight, and still not really used to the controls, but I'll do my best to survive. Luckily we have full health, and I think we have Malaclips this time as well. Vignis the Crazed. Treacherous and greedy, a dangerous combination. Anarchists throw flaming bombs that cause fire damage. Your armor is no use to you here, so we just have to dodge those attacks. Alright, let's keep moving. So I think we might want to, we might want to just, I just want to kill the... Oh, this is the heavier weapon that we have now. My controller stopped working. Let's switch to the keyboard and mouse. Maybe that'll be easier, to be honest. Still not having a lot of success with the controller. Yeah, this is much smoother. I think that's what we'll use for our the remainder of our battles. Down to half health. Still haven't touched the boss yet. Use space to evade. Alright, that's fine. And F is the finisher. Space quickly. Alright, let's evade. Not sure what we can do to do the finisher. Left shift, it looks like. Alright, can do that. Yeah, this is much better. I should have just used mouse and keyboard the whole time. At least at this stage. And we can finish him. Alright, that wasn't so bad. We lost half our health, but it's not like we need it or can take it with us to the next round. And we were able to defeat the tutorial boss, so excellent. Malaclip scratches his chin thoughtfully. It seems you could do with someone savvy to help you navigate these tricky matters of diplomacy. Like maybe killing everyone wasn't the best idea. Come, let us discuss our partnership over an ale or two. So he's rather obnoxious. We just saved his life, and he's chastising us and admonishing us not to kill people, but I suppose we have no choice. So the fool is complete, and we have the golden token for it.
Well done. You have cleared the first challenge, and now we can move on to the next.
Indeed we have. So we've unlocked two cards, the Cardinal Blade and the Bastion of Purification. So it looks like a new weapon, and I'm not sure if this is a shield or a weapon or what. And for completing the Fool, we also get Market Thief, which can give us a token, Tarts Pies, and Exotic Lies. This doesn't have a token, but an encounter that probably gives us food, Fork in the Road, and the Arm Wrestling, which we would be fighting a tougher opponent next time, hopefully for more gold. For befriending Malaclips, we get Malaclips' Problem, so it looks like this is a quest that is unique to Malaclips, as well as the Trickster, which is, I think, just the companion card that we can put in our deck for future adventures. Well, that's pretty much it. Oh, and we did win that token. I think that was the little kid who told us about wanting a lemon cake in the forest. So for finding the forest folk, we get the Old Maiden, which is, I think, a card that gives you anything you want, like food or supplies.
Welcome to my challenges. Together, we will traverse 22 paths of wisdom and despair in the hope of awakening.
Well, sounds good. I think this is a good, convenient point to pause. Looks like we've unlocked a bunch of new challenges, although, nope, we have to go with the Magician next. But I'm eager to try that in the next episode, so hope this was fun. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next adventure. Thank you, and bye-bye.